Let's turn to China now. The propaganda press has been quite busy. Specifically, the Global Times this morning they published a new article, a new piece. It talks about the biggest problem with India's foreign policy. Guess what it is? According to the Global Times, it's S Jaishankar, India's foreign minister. They call him the biggest problem with India's foreign policy. Now this is a very bold claim to make, especially with no evidence whatsoever. Maybe that's why the Global Times has taken down the article. You won't find it on their website anymore, but do not worry, we have a copy for you, and tonight we're going to break it down. What does the article say and what does it reveal about China's mentality? Global Times is making two broad points. One, that bilateral ties between India and China are improving, that India and China are keen to fix the contentious issues, and two, that Jaishankar is the roadblock, that he is preventing a reset. And to prove this, they have quoted Jaishankar's recent statement. Listen to what they've said. India has a China problem, a special China problem that is over and above the world's general China problem. This is supposed to be China smoking gun, but it's not a gun, and it's definitely not smoking, though maybe the folks at Global Times are. In 2020, China tried to illegally grab Indian land. They killed 20 Indian soldiers. Since then, both sides are locked in a standoff. There are thousands of soldiers and weaponry on both sides of the border. If this isn't a problem, what is? What else would you call a belligerent expansionist and imperialist neighbor? Frankly, problem is an understatement. But let's read on. The Global Times goes on to psychoanalyze Jaishankar's statement and look at their conclusion. They say that Jaishankar has envy and jealousy towards China. Well, can you blame him? Look at how China treats its foreign minister. The last one literally went missing. No one saw him for more than a month. The rumor was he was jailed or killed. Why wouldn't Yankee be jealous of something like that? It's perfectly normal. But jokes aside, what is the Global Times' logic here? They say Jaishankar wants India to move closer to the US, which is why he is against a reset with China. There is no evidence to support this claim though, but then again, it's an opinion piece, so we let that fly. An even bigger problem appears towards the end of the article. Let me quote that again. As Minister of External Affairs, Jaishankar's priority seems not to be national interest. Many politicians in India just use the country as a tool for personal gain. They do not take the long-term interests of the country seriously. Well, this is not an opinion, this is dangerous stuff. Global Times is saying that India's foreign minister is not prioritizing India's national interests, again without proof. What does it say about China's mentality? A, they're not happy with the negotiator, aka S Jaishankar, and B, they've got this conflict completely wrong. Jaishankar met his Chinese counterpart twice in July. Both times he made the same point: peace at the border is essential for normally in ties. Basically fix the border, then we can talk. But China wants to hear something else. They want India to keep the border issue on the back burner and to focus on positives instead of negatives. But Jaishankar said no, and that's not just his position, that's what most of India feels. The government, the opposition, the parliament, all of them. But China's state media has missed the point, and they've done so in the past as well. Attacking top diplomats is a typical Chinese strategy. They did so to former US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, UK's ex-Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab, and Japan's former defense minister. So it's not really a criticism, it's a badge of honor, we'd say. Which brings us to the second point about China's mentality. They have clearly misread the situation. The border is the main worry for India. It's not TikTok, not PUBG, not Chinese investments, and not China's designs in the South China SE. It's very different from the United States. They have ideological and systemic problems with China's rise. India has never said that. New Delhi's primary concern is peace at the border, and China must realize that India is not a Japan or Philippines or South Korea. It is not a US ally out to get China. It's simply looking out for itself as long as Beijing refuses to accept that this relationship will not improve. Blaming S Jaishankar will not change that, nor will dozens of rounds of military talk. So stop hiding behind your state mouthpieces. Stop eyeing your neighbors' land, and then maybe ties will improve. Thanks for watching this video.